Hey y'all, happy Tuesday and welcome to Tuesday Tips. I'm Meg Rentschler, the host of the Star Coach Show. And if you know me at all or know the show at all, you know that I am all about helping coaches and leaders create an impact in the world. And I believe that as a coach, especially a coach who is in their own business, they have got to get their word into the world because you can't be a secret and be a success at the same time. So today we're going to dive into the ABCs of business growth. In the fact that I think that the one story that keeps going around in coaches' minds is I can't do this business thing. I just want to coach, but do I have to build a business? It is so hard. It is such heavy lifting. So my thought today was let's break it down to the ABCs. And this is the other element of that. Don't feel like you have to do A, B, and C all together, but let's dive into some elements of A, some elements of B, some elements of C, and think about what you can do to apply these lessons and really get your business to the next level. I just started a brand new cohort of students at one of the schools that I teach. And well, actually, both schools this month started a new cohort. And what I hear is, as we're building our skills and we're building our confidence as a coach, there's that the juggling that goes on. Like I'm getting a new skill and I'm trying to feel confident and competent at my new skill. And then there's also this whole like getting in front of people and sharing, and it just feels like too much sometimes. So my hope was let's break it down into the ABCs today and just give you food for thought. Because if we can make it less scary, then I'm willing to bet that you might embrace it just a little bit more. And just like I share with my coaching clients, just find something you can experiment with. It's not about perfection. It's not about hitting a home run right out of the gate. It's slow and steady wins the day. So let's talk about our ABCs. The first element of building a business with the ABCs is that you have to attract. You have to attract the right clients. Now, in that, many times I hear, Meg, I could coach anybody. And I agree. The coaching process, the process of supporting and challenging, of using questions to explore the client's wisdom, of really partnering to help get a client to expand their awareness and move toward the goals that they have. Yeah, we can do that with anybody. However, when was the last time that you hired a jack of all trades instead of a specialist for what it was that you wanted to achieve? The same is true for coaches. Yes, you could coach anybody, but first of all, what is it that excites you? Who can you speak, and here's another A, in your authentic voice to? What genuine experiences, what is your philosophy that particularly resonates with a particular audience? Another A. So we want to attract our audience in our authentic voice. We also want to be an authority. Now, one of the things that I hear coaches say is, Meg, we're not supposed to be the authority. The client is the expert in their life. And you're exactly right. There is a difference when we're building our business between what we're doing through marketing and getting our word into the world and sharing perspective and helping people see the results that we achieve as a coach, that's where your authority comes in. That's where you share your message in speaking engagements. Think about, like, if you're speaking, you're not just asking the audience, what do you want to hear today? You are giving value. You're giving your expertise. You're building your credibility and your visibility by speaking. Speaking, in my belief, is one of the best ways for coaches to build their businesses. So, when you are thinking about your authority in a particular space, what you're doing is sharing success stories. You're sharing perspective. You're sharing what you know is true to get your clients from point A to point B, or the kinds of results that you get. You're publishing those kinds of stories and experiences and beliefs on platforms where your audience is, whether that's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. So when we start with the A of ABCs, we're going to attract our ideal audience by being authentic and being an authority. And where that journey begins is doing the work to get clear about who is the audience that really resonates with you to work with. Who do you help get those results with? So at the beginning, you might coach a lot of different people, doing a lot in a lot of different areas to see who is it that I really enjoy doing my work with. So I trying to keep Tuesday tips brief. So I'm going to so that's the A, attract your ideal audience by using your authentic voice and creating authority. There's lots of different ways to do that. The B in using ABCs for business growth is actually build. How do you build a sustainable coaching business? You need robust systems and relationships with people. So in order to build, we need to build on something firm. And excuse me, when we spend all of our energy on who we're going to coach, but we haven't spent any time creating that business foundation around what is our structure of how we're going to get our services out to our clients, your forms, your billing systems, your the business of your business needs to be built as well. Now, this is often where I hear coaches kind of throw their hands up in the air and say, this is so much. That's actually why one of my bonuses in the Star Coach community for annual members is a CRM guide, a guide for client relationship management systems, because there's so many. We broke it down to like, what are the best ones for coaches to use? But I divert. It is the concept of we've got to, if we're going to scale, if we're going to build, we've got to have a firm foundation to build on. So, what are your policies? What kinds of agreements do you have in place? What are your contracts and the different ways that you are going to, once you attract those clients, you've got to be able to service those clients. So the B is around building. And I've got to say that many times hiring a mentor or being a part of a community like the Star Coach community or whatever that is, so that you get that support, because that can feel huge. When we're building that foundation, we're also building our brand. We're creating, and this sort of ties right back into who are we attracting. We chose the ideal client for a reason, and part of that is, going to go into our brand development. What is our visual identity for our business? So this is building business through brand and platforms and having that foundation, all so important for the B aspect of building. Now, the other key thing that we build as we are creating business success is relationships. None of us live in a silo. And especially if you're in a business like coaching, being in a silo isn't going to work. You build relationships with your clients, but you also build relationships with organizations or other service providers. I have said again and again, and will say until I'm blue in the face, that much of my business success has been through the relationships I have built with other coaches. Coaches who are out there doing their work in the world realize that they can't serve everybody. They can't be all things to all people. So when you have solid relationships built with other service providers who do similar but maybe not exactly the same work, that is a great way to offer your services to build your business. It's where referral partnerships come from. Being a part of professional coaching organizations is key to being seen and being heard and being out there, learning about new opportunities. So when I cultivate relationships, it's not because what's in it for me. I cultivate relationships because I love people and I love learning about what other people are doing. And I walk into that with curiosity. And I will say that building those relationships has been a key element to building my business. So, A, attract, B, build, C, when we've got all the systems in place and we've got the correct people who are learning about us because we're getting our word out there and we're sharing, we've got to be able to convert them. We've got to bring people into our sphere and invite them into working with us. So I'm all about like giving free information on platforms, speaking to sell, even if you're not being paid for that speaking, being able to get in front of people, share your message. But at some point, we've got to be able to invite them into our world. So whether that is getting really good at the discovery call process and inviting people into a discovery call, I have a couple Star Coach shows specific to the discovery call. We've also had experts come into the Star Coach community and talk about converting through the discovery call. You want to be able to qualify your prospects effectively. Are you inviting people into your discovery sessions who are really ready to engage in the kind of coaching that you are offering? What is your flow for your conversations? And are you doing enough balance between being curious about what they're bringing and demonstrating some coaching, along with holding the structure of that discovery call and letting people better understand what's the process, not getting into the nitty gritty of what first I'm going to do this, then but what's the process? Because confused minds don't buy. So, what are you doing to share the client journey with them so that they understand what it would be like to work with you? Now, another concept in converting is that clients want to understand, if I'm going to invest in you, if I'm going to work with you versus this person or this person, what what's what experience can I expect to have with you? What is it that you're offering in the way of your services? So once again, systems are going to make your clients feel more secure. What can they expect to receive in the way of how they schedule with you, how they're going to be billed? what kinds of forms or resources you're going to offer to them to make their onboarding and their client experience with you smooth and beneficial. I've been told by my clients, the resources you provide to me as a client make my journey through coaching so much more fulfilling. I go faster, further with more clarity because of the resources and because I understand what the flow is, and I can meet you in that flow and get my needs met in the coaching process. So, the client journey is super important, helping them understand, being comfortable asking for testimonials or referrals from your clients are all part of continuing to build and scale and grow as a coach. We also want to pay attention to our own continuous improvement. How are you reviewing and optimizing your processes? Whether it is, the foundational process that we talked about, whether it's how you're converting, whether it's how you're communicating, what your flow is, track track your progress, see what you're doing that works well, ask for feedback. All of these are aspects that come along with not just building the foundation of our business, but being able to scale up and up and continue to grow our business. So remember, your coaching business is a journey. It's not a destination, and it's not a sprint. This is a marathon. Focus on the ABCs consistently. Really attract your right audience. And it's okay if your audience adjusts occasionally. But what I will say is put a stake in the ground initially. If you're new at this, determine who is the audience that I am going to connect with initially. What do I understand to be true about them? What are their needs that I can help meet? Really zero in on a particular population. You can always expand. But when we try to market to everybody all at once and get our message gets muddied, we don't get to be an expert in a particular area. We don't get known for that. So at first, put a stake in the ground. Don't be worried that I'm putting the stake in the ground for the next 30 years. Maybe you're putting that stake in the ground for the next 24 months to get momentum, to get going, and then you can always expand. So attract the right audience with authenticity and authority. Build those strong foundations of your business, the strong systems, the processes, and relationships. And remember that we've got to convert. We've got to convert through systems and experiences and stories and inviting people into the work with us. One of the things that I was reminded of early on, and I have to remind myself of it repeatedly, is that you have to invite people. You've got to give them a call to action. You've got to tell them what the next step is and not just assume that they are going to put the pieces together. Part of building your business is actually inviting people into the process. So that being said, I'm going to invite you to leave a comment wherever you're listening to this Tuesday Tips. Let me know what you think and what element of the ABCs is most helpful to you where your business is at this moment. Please take a moment to subscribe to my YouTube channel and the Star Coach Show wherever you listen so that you never miss a Tuesday Tips, a short that we offer, some tip or strategy that we want you to have. You've got to be subscribed so that you know that it's coming out. And then I would just ask you to move into this next week filled with compassion for yourself, compassion for others, the joy that life has to offer, and Get your work into the world. You can't be a secret and a success at the same time, and the world needs you. So oh my goodness, I almost forgot. How could I almost forget? One of the reasons why I do Tuesday Tips is to highlight my show that comes out on Wednesday. So every Wednesday morning, a brand new show comes out. And I almost completely forgot to tell you about my new show. I'm so excited for the show that comes out tomorrow, which is going to be February 12th. It is about business growth with Vena Sterling. Vena is a former attorney turned business consultant and coach. She is dynamic. She is going to dive into some specifics to help empower coaches to build the kinds of businesses that they want. Now, I don't just have Venus show. I have over 425 shows broken into categories about strengths and building skills as a coach, business building for your coaching business, and for all you leaders and executive coaches out there and leadership coaches. We have a whole pillar of shows around leadership. So feel free to peruse all of them at starcoachshow.com. Until next week, this is Meg Rentschler wishing you the very best. Thanks for joining Tuesday Tips. Be sure to leave a comment about what resonated the most with you. You take care.